Hi, I'm Christy. I want to talk to you today about creating a sensory room. I do need to remind you that I am not a medical professional. This is not meant to treat or diagnose. It is for informational purposes only. When you live with somebody who has sensory needs, if the sensory needs are very high or if you have space available, you might want to consider a sensory room. These can be extremely beneficial for people. Now you're probably asking me now, what is a sensory room? Well, it's an area or a room of your home that is dedicated to sensory input in a safe environment. The items that are included are sometimes bigger in size or sometimes they need permanent installation, and so a sensory room or a sensory area can be very beneficial. Sometimes it's just an area that's dedicated to sensory play and a place that they can recover and reset themselves. SensoryProcessingDisorder.com has this to say, quote, "By the term sensory room, we're talking about a specific room with specific sensory equipment and activities to benefit specific sensory processing difficulties," end quote. Any person with or without sensory issues can benefit from time in a sensory room, which makes a lot of sense if you think about it. We all have times where we feel overwhelmed or overloaded by things, and we just need a place to calm down. Or sometimes we feel a little sluggish and we need something that's going to kind of perk us up. But there's another good point in this article, and that's that merely having a sensory room does not make it beneficial. To be beneficial, you have to have the right items and you have to use them at appropriate times to be truly therapeutic and beneficial. Once again, your OT will be one of your best resources for deciding what to include and how to use it for your loved one. My blog post about this originally posted in January of 2018. You can find it at www.havenofhopeforme.com. In there, I have several articles that include lists of options that you can include in a sensory room. Some of them have specific items with links, but a lot of them are just lists of items that you can include. And you'll notice that they look a lot like a sensory diet will. Many times you can create a sensory diet without having to dedicate an entire area or room of your home for it. But if space is available, creating a safe haven can be a great place to decompress and reset. Some of the ideas or suggestions for including in a sensory room can be things like a swing for vestibular input, or a punching bag for proprioceptive input and for getting out aggression, a hammock or a beanbag for calming, a sensory wall that has different textures on it, rope lights or dimmable lights to help calm if they're overstimulated, a CD player, you can play music or background noise, a ball pit for play or for coordination work, a weighted blanket for vestibular input and for calming. Now obviously, not all of these options are appropriate for every family and every sensory room, but it does give you an idea of different things that can be included and how they could be of benefit to your loved one. I hope that this gives you a brief idea and a few solutions for how you can address sensory inputs that you may be dealing with, or sensory issues that you may be dealing with. And as you find answers to your issues, I hope that you can agree with me and join me in saying that life is good and there is never a dull moment.